Sir, 80% of this country's population lives in villages and a majority of them are landless laborers and marginal farmers. Out of this 80%, that is 70 crore of rural population, more than 30 crores are landless laborers. They live below the poverty line. Really speaking, there is no legal provision for their well-being and welfare. The urban labor is less than 10 crores and the government has taken many steps and measures for their well-being and upliftment. Sir, I would like to narrate some of the measures taken by the government for the welfare of the urban labor. There is an act governing industrial relations and disputes. There are workers' committees, joint management councils, National Commission on Labor, etc. The government has also taken many steps for social security like the Employees State Insurance Scheme, Employees Provident Fund, Family Pension, maternity benefits, etc. for this industrial and urban labor. There is also the Central Board of Workers' Education, the objective of which is to create a well-informed and responsible labor force capable of organizing and running trade unions on a sound basis. All these measures are taken for the benefit of the industrial labor, mine labor, and dock workers. But what about the landless labor and the agricultural labor, which consist of a formidable portion of the labor force of the country? Do they not contribute anything for the development of this nation? Why are they neglected? It is only because they are not vocal, because there is nobody to speak on their behalf, and because there are no trade unions for them. The trade unions of the urban labor exploit the industry. They get the benefits, but they do not fulfill their obligations. With less and less work, they get more and more benefits in cash and in kind, whereas there is no provision for the landless labor and the agricultural labor. Millions of them die without food. The government should make statutory provisions for security of living wage and suitable working conditions for the agricultural labor. Sir, majority of this landless labor and the agricultural labor is heavily burdened by debt. The moneylenders suck their blood and exploit them. The crushing burden of debt on them should be removed. Special tribunals should be appointed to inquire into this, and all debts which are beyond the capacity of the peasants to pay should be liquidated. Meanwhile, a moratorium should be declared and steps should be taken to provide cheap credit facilities. Sir, for this, the cooperative movement in various parts of the country has done something good, but that requires to be augmented and increased on a large scale. Sir, many of these landless laborers and agricultural laborers suffer only because there is no land for them. For their benefit, some state governments enacted tenancy laws, but they were not implemented. The greatest hardship which they suffer from is that they are landless. The land which was to be given to them by way of surplus has to be obtained by the enactment of tenancy laws. It was not given to them. The vested interests in the rural parts of the country evaded the provisions of the tenancy laws. Therefore, sir, fixity of tenure with heritable rights along with a right to build houses and to plant trees should be provided for all tenants throughout the country. Unless this is done, I do not think the condition of the rural labor can be improved. Not only this, sir, there is a section of the rural population, so to say, the landlords or the rich peasantry. There should be an income tax on their income. Sir, unless their income is taxed and sealed as it is done in the urban parts, they shall continue to exploit these rural people. So there should be income tax levied on them, and this tax yield should be used for the well-being and the welfare of these landless laborers. Now, sir, as I previously stated, the cooperative movement is to say a movement which can help these rural laborers. For this purpose, the rate of cooperative farming and collective farming can be stepped up in this country. So far as I know, the system of cooperative farming is prevalent only in some parts, rather a negligible portion in the Gujarat state. I do not know the position prevailing in the rest of the country, but so far as my state is concerned, there are some societies formed on a cooperative basis for the benefit of agricultural laborers, and they are mostly composed of landless laborers, and they get government wasteland from the government. Now, this land which is provided by the government is not fertile. If they develop this land, the vested interests of the society snatch away this land.